Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to the no-kill run of the Pit. Last time, Luz became arena champion without killing Gruber, again exploiting the last one standing loophole in the arena rules. We poked around a little bit in the previously inaccessible parts of the mill and downtown, but she didn't learn much that would change her assessment of the situation. And she definitely wants as much intel as possible before meeting with Ashur, so let's talk to some people uptown.
Lord Ashur wants a word with you. Good luck.
Might as well start with Lulu.
Well, if it isn't Ashur's newest pet, he doesn't let many mongrels into his mansion. Him and his keen eyes must see something special in you, so Lulu's going to keep her eyes on you, too.
What do you mean about Ashur's keen eyes?
The Lord of the Pit knows all, and his eyes see promise where others see rubble. What does he see in you? A cure? A scourge? Or maybe nothing more than a plaything? Soon, Lulu will see what lies inside you. But first, perhaps Ashur's pet needs to be fed.
Are you hitting on me? 'Cause that sounded vaguely sexual. I'm totally okay with that, but I'm nobody's pet.
Oh, but aren't we all pets of our Lord? He built this menagerie and chose each of us to live in his world. Good pets do work, find food, build weapons, and kill the unclean. Good pets get food and Lord Ashur loves them. Bad pets get drowned in the rivers. Lulu knows all about being good, so Lulu is in charge of feeding other good pets.
Okay. Well, I did eat literally every food item I had in the arena, so why not?
Then here, delicious food for you. Eat and be good.
Interesting, if oblique.
Hey, if it isn't the newest addition to our little family. You hit the jackpot now, whiz kid. You're in Ashur's army. Now's when the hard work really starts.
You really think you work harder than the slaves downtown?
Fuck yes, we do. Those lazy workers get food and board, and all they have to do is work the mill and complain. But we're the ones who go out on raids to get that food. And we're the ones getting shot at for their lazy asses. So don't you get all weepy for those scabs downtown. They don't know how easy they got it. But I do what I can to keep us all standing upright. If you need to drop some rats, I'm here to help.
Thanks, but Phaedra gave me a rad scrub after the fight. Well, but around here, I'm sure I'll get irradiated again, so maybe I'll see you later.
Okay, watch yourself out there.
Maybe you should invest in a practice dummy instead of just hacking away at the wall. Just saying.
You got something to say, or you just here to stare at the freak?
Not at all. Some of my best friends are ghouls.
Ghoul? Who you calling a ghoul? Get lost before I dump you in the river.
I didn't mean I think you're a ghoul. I know the difference. I just mean I don't have a problem with irradiated people in general. Never mind. Where is everybody? There are like 10 named characters uptown. You're not one of them.
A lot, don't you? You up to something? Huh?
They do have a really huge wander radius, but they tend to stick to one path between Haven and the door to downtown, so it shouldn't be that hard to find them. Well, there are a lot of side rooms. I guess they can walk by when you're in one. That's almost certainly a generic pit raider. There's Lulu again.
Lord Ashur wants a word with you. Good luck.
Guess she got biased when we were talking to Phantom or Mona. Is this somebody? Yeah.
You see him. Saw you earn your ticket uptown. Don't start thinking that makes you special. You're still just meat. You just got moved up to a higher grade of sausage is all.
Oh, that's real appetizing.
Hey, it's not pretty, but it's the truth. We're all just meat in the grinder out here. Today's hotshot is tomorrow's trog chow. Nothing to it but to be the best. and eat our fill before we're next on the plate. Work hard, and you might just be a grade A cut like me.
Oh, dog. Is that Irish? Might as well tag the map marker while we're here. The iconic statue. Well, I'm going to do another sweep, because I haven't found any of the people I really wanted to talk to. Pretty sure the guard posts are all manned by generic pit raiders, but might as well make sure. Yeah. Well, back upstairs.
Hey, if it ain't the champion of the hole. That was a hell of a show you put on down there. Good thing, too. Otherwise, I was gonna start shooting down there myself just to keep things interesting.
Luce would 100% not have shot back, but something tells her that, like Gruber, Squill would be more forthcoming if we display a bit of aggression than if we're passive. Good thing you didn't. I would have shot back.
I should hope so. That's what I did when I was fighting down there. And it really gets the crowd going when they see you've got some fight in you.
Good. If you're keeping score, that's 2 confirmed arena champions, Gruber and Squill. Not counting Luz, of course. That's Phantom again. Here we go.
Had any good fights lately? Well, look at you. Been a while since I got to welcome you to this fine fucking city. Watch your step in Uptown, or you might just take a tumble.
You only get this option if Redup and his thugs beat you up at the gate. If you call him out, he'll announce that the fight is just between you and him, and no one else will aggro, but Blues obviously isn't doing that. If you don't like the fact that I got a promotion, that does mean there's an opening for work downtown. Maybe you should apply.
I already fought my way out of there once. There ain't no force in the pit that could make me go back there again. Not you, not Ashur, not anything. Got it?
Ashur's looking forward to meeting you, champ.
Which implies he's another former arena champion. That or there's some other way for slaves to earn their freedom that nobody talks about, and it seems like somebody would mention it if there was another option.
Guess we've got another soldier. Don't think you're so special, kid. You're not the first to climb your way out of the mud.
Dude, for a guy who takes target practice that seriously, you have piss-poor muzzle discipline. Anyway, how many other soldiers came from the hole? Phaedra said maybe 3, but she didn't sound very sure about it. And by my count, you're number 4.
You'd be surprised how many of us worked our way up, even if we don't like to admit it. The rest are just toughs from the wasteland who decided to join the biggest gang around. Either way, watch your back around here. Nobody got to Uptown by playing nice.
So maybe Phaedra has really bad memory, or maybe she just doesn't know or care about anybody who won their freedom before she was in charge of the arena. Either way, it's clearly not an empty promise or a one-time special case for the lone wanderer, but most contestants don't make it. Oh, she went to bed.
Don't you have something better to do?
Nope. This is actually
Keep
kind of
walking
important.
now.
Oh, look. Another worker who thinks they can address their betters. I'm sure everyone's impressed that you killed a pig in the hole. But don't think that makes you an equal.
Well, more than equal might be stretching things a bit, but I assure you I am your equal.
I'm sure you think so. The delusion of equality is part of what makes your kind so pitiful.
Which strongly implies she doesn't have any respect for Gruber, Redup, Squill, or Duke either, which is why I said she was on the suspect list if you use Everett's last resort solution to the arena. She's the only one who displays open contempt for soldiers who weren't recruited directly from raider gangs, although there are some subtle hints that there's a bit of faction rivalry under the surface.
Lulu is watching you.
Whatever floats your boat, Lulu. Anyway, I think that's everybody I wanted to talk to, so let's poke our head into Haven and see what we're going to be dealing with in there. I do like this statue, how it's made of scrap but looks almost organic. The symbolism is open to interpretation, but Luz isn't really inclined to see it in the context of Ashur's speech, like it's about breaking free from the crippling environmental conditions.
If you're so damn smart...
The first area is a pretty simple layout. 3 floors, some barracks off the atrium. Not much in the way of loot. I don't think there's much on the 3rd floor at all.
You on food run duty?
Not exactly, no. The relevant part to Luz is it's a straight shot from the elevator to Ashur's office to the front door. She has a feeling there's a pretty good chance she's going to want to get out of town in a hurry after she steals the cure, so she wants to wrap up any loose ends before we go up there.
How's it going?
Good, thanks. First up, there's a door to the pit underground in the far corner of the courtyard. I don't think there's anything dangerous in here yet, but better safe than sorry. Some of the pit raiders apparently come in here to party. And while there is a hatch to the actual underground, there's no switch on this side to open it. There's a workbench if you're inclined to build things. One of very few in the DLC. Maybe the only one. And if all that smells to you like a Skyrim door through which you might leave a much larger dungeon at some point, your intuition is correct. But that's just the appetizer. Finish grabbing anything in here with a decent value to weight ratio, and we'll get to the main course. Directly across the street from the door to Haven, we have the abandoned apartments. 2 things of interest in here. First, loot. There are 3 guaranteed quantums and a unique hat, plus some other decent stuff. Second, it establishes that the steel yard isn't the only place infested with trogs. The implication being that they're much more widespread than we actually see in the game. We just spend most of our time in well-guarded areas, so we don't run into as many. I don't know if it's safe to stand up, but I want a better look at these tiny garden gnomes. I just find them amusing. Yeah, got away with it. Hello. I don't know how long it was before I realized this building was even here, but it was years. Imagine my surprise when I'm doing a pretty relaxed playthrough where I already knew I don't like either ending, so I'm not in a particular hurry, just poking around in all the nooks and crannies, and wow, there's another fairly substantial interior to explore in Uptown. How did I miss that all this time? And maybe it's just me, but it feels kind of out of place. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's a cool location with some interesting touches. It just doesn't have the same ambiance as the rest of the pit. I mean, an apartment building is an apartment building, whether it's in Pittsburgh or D.C., but it kind of makes me wonder if there's, you know, originally they planned to have more explorable areas in the DLC that got cut for schedule or resource constraints. There's 1 quantum. There's another one behind this counter, but do I want it bad enough to push my luck sneaking past that trog? Or that one? Yes. Yes, in fact, I do. So far, so good. I do not remember where the 3rd one is. And I think I'm going to say 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The hat is on the 2nd floor, and I'm already kind of turned around. What's in here? Okay, that's the rear entrance. So there should be a hole in the ceiling. Yeah. The apartment with the unique hat is up there, so leaving will be a piece of cake at least. The back door comes out in an alley around the corner and down the street from Haven, as you might expect. And I think it's also behind a locked gate. Yeah. Yeah, there's Haven right there. In fact, I don't think we're very far from the other exit from the mill. I'm pretty sure it's down that street. Anyway, don't get distracted. Hat. Here we go. There's no stairwell, but there's a collapsed floor you can walk up. Well, I'm sure there was a stairwell at some point, but it's not accessible in the game. And I don't know why we keep going in and out of caution. I mean, when I walk around a corner and shine my Pip-Boy flashlight in one's face, yeah, I get it. But that felt almost like a scripted detection event, because there's nobody in the immediate vicinity. Although I can't imagine they'd do that here. It's not like Mothership Zeta, where you've got all those manned platforms overlooking the hangar bay. But extensive testing says with Silent running in the stealth suit, we should be completely undetectable unless we physically bump into an enemy, much less if they're not even in the same room. Which in turn suggests that maybe there is some subtle difference in the detection calculation in Fallout 3, because all of those tests were done in New Vegas. The plate collection here is a cool little touch. Looks like something I'd do decorating my player home. Which is not why I'm here. This place isn't that big or complicated. So where the hell is the apartment with the hat? Hello. Hopefully not that one. No, there's no hole in the bathroom floor, so it's definitely not that one. You guys just go back to doing whatever you were doing. Okay, that's it. The first hint there's something unusual here is the ample supply of ammo and 3 Chinese assault rifles. Now, 2 skeletons, 2 assault rifles, that'd be perfectly normal. But 3? Another bathroom. This must be like 2 adjoining apartments that could be a suite if you rented them both. Anyway, over by the bed there's a floor safe. No trogs actually in the room. Good. Chinese pistol. And the Hat of the People. It's a unique variant of the Chinese commando hat. Same damage resistance, but buffs small guns instead of perception. All of which suggests the people in this apartment were communist sympathizers or something. No lore I'm aware of, just some environmental storytelling. Alright, through the hole and out. Maybe. Excuse me. Okay. Now out through the room with no, that's not the right way. The room with the oxygen tank. Here we are. I said last week that going through the northeast exit from the mill wasn't as safe as going back downtown and taking the stairwell beside Medea's house, but I'm not actually sure why I thought that. The pit raiders mostly stick to the catwalks and upper floors of the buildings and only go down to ground level in the courtyard around Haven, but there doesn't seem to be anything dangerous down here. Spoiler warning, that's gonna change, but until the meeting with Ashur, it looks like it's completely safe. Forget I said anything. And speaking of things getting dangerous...
Get on up there, you earned it. Go on in if you're going.
No, wasn't sure if he had any useful info. Everett's given us some pretty choice gear for turning in ingots, and I'd like to wrap that up before Luce makes any rash decisions about the fate of the pit. Or any rational, well-informed decisions for that matter. Any decisions at all, really. Anyway, the only place we haven't collected ingots is the supply plant, and it should be much safer now that we have the stealth suit back. There's a scripted event the first time you go in. Some wild men come running toward the exit, being chased by a pack of trogs. which might make it easier to sneak deeper into the plant if we let them all run by first. Of course, if the wild men had any chance of killing all the trogs, they wouldn't be running. So that means our path of retreat will then be blocked, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is the Skyrim door over here. I'm not sure exactly where the trigger for the event is, but we'll just keep moving forward until we find it. The narrow hallways have radiation, most of them. Yeah. But the far worse danger is running into an enemy where we don't have room to squeeze by without bumping them. And there they are. Just made it. And there are the trogs. Oh, another one. Good, they're all engaged. And here are the first 3 ingots, nice and easy. Don't run back into the plant, you fool. Great. Well, I guess it's better than being halfway down the next hall when it happened. Might as well loot the other wild men while they're going the other way. Hopefully they'll disperse a bit after they kill the second one. Nothing. Well, let's go see what's going on down at the other end. Surely they should have killed him by now. I mean, that was a lot of them. Hello? Okay, apparently there is room to squeeze by. At least with one of the little ones. Oh. That's exactly what I was afraid of. No, there's a turret in this room and a terminal to turn it on, but Luz isn't going to do that. It wouldn't technically violate the no-kill rule set, since the kill count on your Pip-Boy wouldn't go up, but it violates it in spirit. Hello. You're a little too close. Back off. Don't! Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. I think there's only one fledgling between here and the exit, though. Of course, that kind of assumes they can't follow us out of here. They can. Run away! Well, on the bright side, now I get to test whether they can follow us through the door to the abandoned area. If they make it all the way to the mill, there's going to be unspeakable carnage. Okay, it would appear that they can't. First things first, let's re-hotkey our stim packs. Much better. But, you know what? No sense wasting stim packs when I can go back to the bed outside Medea's house and sleep it off. No, they have not returned to their original positions. But if I can beat them there... Damn it. Can't believe you can't jump off that. So much for that idea. Well, this might be a problem. Because when they go back in, they're probably just going to be in a big cluster around the door until I go in. And that is not an ideal situation for stealth. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. No, instant danger. Try waiting 3 days for the cell to reset. Fingers crossed. Oh, man. That was pure luck, but we got away with it. Hopefully they all go back to their default locations and don't just hang around in one of those little narrow hallways. See what they do. Keep moving. Get along, little doggies. How closely do I want to follow them? Not too closely, but this is probably all right. Make it up to the corner and reassess. Nobody's lagging behind so far. The second I say it. Oh. I wonder if there's an AI package or script or something that forces them to run in the right direction to chase the wild men, and that one just triggered it again. Like a failsafe to make sure the introductory scene works right every time. If it just relied on the combat AI, the results would be occasionally unpredictable. You know, they could end up fighting back here before the player ever has a chance to see them. But the wild men are already dead, so then they immediately turn around and run back to their default positions. I don't know, but if so, that's a really inconvenient default position. Oh good, they're stuck on each other. Oh, even better! That one wants to sit on my lap. You know what? We have 300 stim packs. If I get caught again, I'll just push forward, tank the damage, and grab the ingots. Might not be the ideal guided tour, but I'm not leaving without those ingots this time. And if they push this guy into me, we're gonna get caught. Yep. Well, here we go. Like I said the last time, there's a turret you can turn on, and there is some loot in the booth with the terminal, but we'd be completely cornered. It's up the stairs to the right, I think. And one of these mine carts has some ingots in it. No, that's the grenade trap. Ow. Is it this one? No. Oh, right. It's up here past this first aid station in the tunnel on the right. And I don't think they're actually in a cart. There's just a big pile beside a cart that's tipped over at the very end. Yeah, this is it. There's another scripted fight between some trogs and wildmen that I've probably tilted very heavily in the trogs' favor at this point. Come on. Go fight the wildmen and let me grab this ingot. I'm kind of getting some unexpected help from the wild man here. Once the trogs are dead, he's not going to be very happy with me either, so grab the ingot and get out of here.
You're dead, meat sack! Yeah.
He may not chase me out of this area. I don't know how he won that fight, but I'll take it. Never underestimate the power of a flamer, I guess. Did I get all that? No, but I'm not really in a position to be thorough. Yeah, still in danger. There's some lore about this room. Workers trying to pick the lock where the supervisor had barricaded himself in a storeroom. Some kind of labor dispute about robots taking human jobs shortly before the Great War, which the supervisor had tried to prevent, but they blamed him anyway and were going to lynch him, so management sent in armed protectrons and killed them. And at that point, the supervisor understandably wasn't going to open the door for anybody. And presumably, he was still in here when the bombs fell. And we level up. I had not thought about this at all. Bear with me. 10 points in medicine and the rest in barter. Good enough. And for the perk, I have no idea. Rad resistance would have been nice the last few weeks, but I think it's water under the bridge at this point. No pun intended. Bonus healing from stim packs might seem like overkill, but I can only push the hotkey so fast, and if we're ever under really heavy fire, it might make a difference. Now, the real point of coming in here was another big pile of ingots. And there's a good bit of ammo and medical supplies. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Even better, we're back to hidden, so we should be good at this point. There's basically only one more room with trogs in it, and then we're out. This room not only has the last ingot, but there's a pitching machine trap, which was actually being used as a pitching machine, not a trap. They had a whole little setup where they played ball. They could run the bases and everything. Seems a bit civilized for wild men, so maybe it was survivors living in the mill right after the Great War. Don't know. That switch turns on the pitching machine. There's the last ingot. And the most important thing under normal circumstances is on the bed. The man opener. Which in the Pip-Boy looks much better than a standard auto axe, but not quite as good as the mauler that we already got from Everett. But the Pip-Boy doesn't tell the whole story, because it has a hidden effect that isn't displayed on the inventory page. It completely ignores target DR. So against creatures and most humans, you're slightly better off with the mauler, but take this thing to Raven Brock or the battle at the Purifier, and you can chew through Enclave troops just as easy as going on a rampage in Megaton. Well, except the people in Megaton don't have plasma rifles, but you know what I mean. Okay, one more trog past the baseball room. But this is it. The Skyrim door is right around that corner. Just make absolutely sure that was the last ingot. Yes, 20. Now, let's get out of here and never speak of this again. Textbook.
Woo! Saw you fighting in the hole. What a piece of work. Now I know why you ain't afraid of those trogs. No hard feelings, huh?
Under the circumstances, I'm going to take "what a piece of work" as mild sarcasm. But yeah, tanking absurd amounts of damage is kind of my thing. It would really recontextualize it if we had asked him to help, but no hard feelings.
Understood, champ? But if you want to keep collecting ingots, I still got plenty of gear stashed away. You bring me ingots, I'll make sure you get rewarded. Can't be more fair than that.
I suppose not. Speaking of which...
I'll just take those.
Got anything for me?
I probably shouldn't, but damn if you ain't earned it. Here. This is the best gun I ever had. A little slower on the trigger, but she makes up for it in power and accuracy. Use her in good health.
And he's not exaggerating. It's my favorite general-purpose ballistic weapon in the game. It's not the best at anything, but it's good at everything. Scope, silencer, decent damage, better accuracy than most other full-auto weapons. I love it. But just like the man opener, useless to loose except as a souvenir. But thanks. And I have a few more.
More metal for the mill.
Got anything for me?
Well, I'll be damned. That makes 100 ingots you found. And here I remember thinking you'd be lucky to bring back any at all. Ain't no question. You earned the treasure of my collection. This armor goes all the way back to when the Brotherhood tried to wipe out the pit. Some of the tribals who worshipped Ashur made it to look like their god. Try it on, and you'll feel a little like a god yourself.
Sadly, that is an exaggeration. It has pros and cons compared to basic power armor, but T-51B it ain't. Any place else to find ingots?
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I think you cleared out the whole place. We'll get other workers to salvage metal from the buildings. You take a break.
At the risk of sounding redundant, I can't find any more ingots out there.
Yep. Guess you got every last one out there. You're one hell of a stealer, kid.
Thanks. I'm gonna go now.
Keep bringing in metal. I'll keep getting you gear.
They probably should have given him a different post-quest goodbye line because no, he will not. And since I was apparently hallucinating about this way being dangerous, I'm gonna take the shorter route back to Haven. Yeah, There's a little bit of radiation in these puddles, but other than that, I don't know what I was talking about. Hello? That Lulu? Are you okay?
Well, if it ain't the new scum. Congrats on the promotion.
Thanks, but watch yourself on the catwalks. There are no safety railings. Game heard me say they never come down to street level, and it just had to prove me wrong. Well, that took a little longer than I expected, and I don't want to have to save and quit halfway through the climactic endgame quest, so I'm going to call it a day and have the grand finale next week. And I don't have anything to show you in the GEC this time, so don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you haven't already. And if you have questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.